My WeldTube family, once again here, Rosendo Rodriguez, Welding Flyduck. On today's video, I'm going to show you how to weld on a 6G position, so you don't want to miss it. All right, so now we're back in action, right? So let's go ahead and take a look at this. We are going to weld on this 6-inch Schedule 80 pipe. Now, I already have it prepped up for you. We went ahead and cleaned the outside of the pipe, cleaned the inside of the pipe. We cleaned the walls all the way around, and we put a nice little landing on the top. Now, what size landing are we gonna put? We're gonna put anywhere from a 332 to a 1/8. But preferably, especially for the people that are learning right now, I need you to put a bigger landing. What landing? A 1/8 landing, okay? So you're gonna put a nice 1/8 landing all the way around. Make sure that your landing is nice and straight. You can also check it. Place your pipe upside down like that. Look down here, and if you see a lot of light leaking through, it's gonna tell you where you need to remove more metal from. Key to a good weld is a good fit, okay? So let's go ahead and get started. Now, we're gonna put a 332 gap on this pipe. Place your spacer on the top. This is from a 7018 332. Get rid of your flux, bend it, and now you have a spacer. Grab your other pipe, your other coupon, and place it right on the top. Now, stick your hand inside, make sure that there's no high and low. Let's go ahead and tack it. We're gonna do 4 penetrated tacks. You can do 3 to 4. Keep them simple, no more than 1 inch long, okay? Every time I'm dragging it through, I'm ripping through these walls through the gap. Look how short my strokes are. We're gonna get this spacer out. Put your spacer back inside your pipe. Now, because you already tacked it once on the other side, your pipe is going to start shifting. It's going to start pulling towards one way. This side of the gap is tighter and this side's a little bit wider. Carefully grab your pipe with the spacer inside. Grab your pipe, give it a little tap right here on the edge where the open area is at so that you can close that gap. All right, let's go ahead and start doing our next tack right across from the other one. Same technique. Here we go. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and start. Now that we have it tacked in position, we're gonna start doing our root. We're gonna do our root in quarters. Okay, we're gonna start doing it in quarter. Why? Because it's a good habit. You don't want your pipe to start shifting on one side. So it's always good to do it in quarters. And then after the root pass, it's gonna be nicely reinforced. Then you can start doing your hot fill in a cap from bottom to top, bottom to top. The way we're gonna do this pipe, I'm gonna do it in sections. I'm not gonna do the full pipe because I want you to see all my steps. So I'm gonna do the whole root, a hot pass, and then I'm gonna continue to do my fills, and I'm gonna keep stopping before my passes, right? Because I want you to see every single level, every single step, how I overlap, how I meet up with the walls, and so on. Feather your tacks before we start doing our root, and this is so important. If you don't feather them, if you don't grind paper thin on the edges of your tacks, then you're gonna have lack of fusion when you tie in, okay? You won't be able to break through that wall and you'll have lack of fusion right on your tacks, okay? Here we go, let's go ahead and start this. And I want you to look closely on how I lean my body, how I position myself. This is a 6G position. A lot of people struggle doing the right side if you're right-handed. So they tend to struggle a lot because what they're doing, they're leaning too far back on this side of the pipe and they can't really see where they're at. What you need to do is get more in the center of your gap, of your weld. So basically like this. Check this out. Always warm up your metal before you start stitching. So the very edges of my tack, look how much I grind. I kind of make it turn blue, paper thin. By the time I'm almost closing, that area is gonna explode. It's gonna pop, keyhole, and it's gonna allow it to fuse in really, really nice. Did you see how I didn't grind the middle of the tack? I didn't grind the middle of the tack because I don't need to blow through that tack. It's already a good penetrated tack. It's part of the root. Whenever you're doing your root, just make sure that you always feather your tacks. I'd always warm up your tack from where you started grinding. Go up and down, up and down, up and down until you get to that feather edge, right? What you're gonna do there, that's when you start stitching back and forth, right? It's a loop, remember, little hula hoop. Watch my position, okay? I'm still gonna bring my elbow in down here, squat a little bit, get in front of my weld, go all the way to the top. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and close on this side. Restart here, tying on the top. All righty. All right, so now, this is gonna be the last quarter that we're gonna do on top, right? Whenever you restart, you're gonna go ahead and strike an arc and then start going up and down, moving forward until you get to that very edge of your tack. Once it starts to blow apart on you, keyholing, that's when you're gonna start stitching. Now, as soon as we tie in, whenever we tie in here, go ahead and release tension and then keep going forward, up and down, releasing tension, keep going up, forward, and then once you hit right in the center, then you pull up, that's it, pop off. Up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down. Keep warming it up, and then you pop out. All right, ladies and gentlemen, now let's go ahead and clean our root pads. Go ahead and grind it down nice and flat. Try to get all the slag out, all those cavities in there, get them out of there. Now that we grinded our root down nice and clean, nice and even, we're gonna start our hot pass. On our hot pass, what I like to do now, I like to put my stick rod in my stinger 45 degrees, just like that. The technique that we're gonna do here, this is called the Christmas tree method. All we're gonna do is go forward in the middle, back in the middle, go up and down. Feel the top wall and feel the bottom wall on your stick right here, the stick rod, okay? So make sure that you press against your walls, go in and out. Forward in the middle, back in the middle, up, down, all the way through. Now, we're gonna start at 6 o'clock, work our way all the way to the top. So we're gonna stop a little bit early because I wanna show you the steps, right? All right, so we just finished our hot pass, right? So what you wanna do next, make sure that you wire wheel your hot pass really nicely. We're gonna switch it over to 7018 332, and we're gonna be going at about 90 amps. All right, let's go ahead and start. We're gonna go water wall. All we gotta do is zigzag it, keep it nice and tight. I'm gonna start at 6 o'clock down here, right in the center, work our way all the way to the top. We're still gonna stop in layers so you can see the levels stacking, but your job is to finish the full pipe all the way to the top. I'm still gonna favor the top. I got this angle at a 45-degree angle, but here, you're only favoring the top 10, 15 degrees, okay, very lightly. Whenever you're doing your fills, either you're doing the zigzag technique or a circle motion, you're always favoring the top. Also, what that means is that when you hit the top wall, you're always pausing and you're feeding at the same time on the top, okay? You gotta fuse correctly. That was our first fill from wall to wall covering the hot pass. We weren't even weaving that much. On our second fill, this is where we're gonna start stacking, okay? We're actually gonna bring our puddle. The very top edge of our puddle is gonna meet up roughly about 75–85% of our well on the top. And then bring down your puddle to the very edge here of your bevel. Don't pass over it, okay? Don't pass over your bevel. Keep it right there. You're not capping it yet, remember that. Let's go ahead and start doing this side, the hard side, but don't make it harder than it is. It's really not hard at all. Just place your body right in front of it, directly in front of the groove, your well. Tuck in that elbow and feed and pause on the top. Don't long arc it, keep it nice and tight. All right, here we go. Let's do the next fill on the top. You can also weave it a tiny bit, zigzag it. Still favor the top, don't rush anything. Pause on the top, feed the top. Sometimes you're gonna end up with a smaller valley on the top. If you do that, look at your puddle closely, look at that valley, and don't weave it there. You can just drag it, fill in that valley, and then if it gets wider, weave it again, okay? So it's very simple. Let's go ahead and do the other side. Nice little restart all the way to the top. Here we go. Now, check this out. We just finished our fill pass, right? Now, we're gonna start capping it from bottom to top. Let's go ahead and take our time. What we're gonna do here is make a guide line from bottom to top. All right, so when we cap it, we already have a guide line here. You can either do a zigzag technique or you can do a circle motion. We're gonna meet up halfway of our weld, 50%. Bring your puddle past your bevel, about a 1/16 to an 1/8, okay? So keep it nice and tight, nice and slow. No rush on a cap. Let's go ahead and do the other side, same thing. Prep yourself nicely. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and start doing our second cap. So now you see we made a guide line right next to our cap, right on top of it. Now on our second cap, what we're gonna do here, same concept as your very first cap. Bring your stick rod, the tip of it, of your electrode, bring it down, touch your guide line, touch it, go back up and watch your puddle, the top edge of your puddle, meet up with your top bevel. Nice and slow, nice and tight, there's no rush. Don't rush anything. All I'm doing here is just watching my puddle. Watch the stick rod, it meets up with the line. All right, here we go. Let's go ahead and restart on this side. We're gonna do our last cap. Now we gotta cover that top bevel, right? That small little line that we left on the top. So once again, make a guide line so you can see where you're going. It's really easy to get lost here, right? So make a guide line, follow that guide line. Now your circles or your zigzags should be a lot smaller, right? So it really has to look like you're dragging it. Your goal is only to cover that bevel. That's it, that little guide line you made. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, there you have it, right? We just did a full 6-inch schedule 80 pipe on a 6G position using 60-10 and 70-18, okay? So just remember that on the hot pass, it's not always gonna be a 60-10 hot pass. Sometimes it will be a 70-18. Also, ladies and gentlemen, don't forget to check out our products on weldlife.com. This is what I was using. Our HD WeldTube lens, automatic shade. Cool gear. All right, you're not gonna regret it. If you want that 10% off, also use my discount code, Welding Flyduck. Also, ladies and gentlemen, if you like this video and it helped you out, go ahead and subscribe now, comment, right? Hit that like button. And also, don't miss out on the next one, okay? Can't wait to do another video with y'all. All right, hoorah.